Welcome back to the ABK Six Nations 2026, a tournament where 6 teams compete for our coveted real-life trophy by playing the Rugby Sevens game in Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. This is part of an ongoing series, so you may want to begin at episode 1, which is linked in the description. Last time! The crushing Koopas pulled off an upset against the Hooting Hoskins, with a close match ending in the Koopas gaining the ABK Jiggy for the first time. Last Condoritas soared against the Brave Boos, pulling off a big win against Bowser's boys and leaving the Boos at the bottom of the table. The Chaotic Kongs put a good score on the Rusty Robots at 49-0, but it's still below the scores achieved by the Koopas and the Condoritas. It was a valuable 5 points, but did it boost his points difference enough? Let's take another look at the table and see the different scenarios that can play out in round 5. If Las Condoritas win against the crushing Koopas, they are likely to win the entire tournament. If they win with a bonus point, they're guaranteed it. The Chaotic Kongs need Tere and Las Condoritas to lose to increase their own chances. But they also need a bonus point win, as if they only get 4 points and the crushing Koopas get 5 points, then the Koopas might beat them on points difference. The crushing Koopas will be hoping that the Brave Boos can beat the Chaotic Kongs, as it gives them the best chance of winning. Their game against Tere is first though, and it's a must win. Nick and the Hooting Hoskins are sadly unable to win the tournament from their position in 4th, but if both Alex and Vicky lose, and they get a really big win against the robots, then they could still snag 2nd. Jack and the Brave Boos will want Nick to lose to the Rusty Robots, to give him a chance at 4th rather than 5th. But given the robot record, it's not looking likely. It's now time to see who will win the 2026 ABK Six Nations. It's time for... We're finally here. These are the last games of the tournament. Nick gets his opportunity to score big against the robots, and Jack and the Boos face down Alex and the Kongs. But first we have a hugely consequential match. Koopas vs Condoritas. This game began round 5 in 2025, and now it begins round 5 in 2026. Competing for the feather for a second time, it's Vicky vs Tere. Match preview. The environment for this match could not be more different from last year. In 2025 it was 2 teams at the bottom of the table trying to avoid the wooden spoon, the award given to last place. This time it's 2 teams that could both win the whole tournament. Las Condoritas have turned their team around this year, and if they win here they've won the whole tournament. But the Koopas can also still win, and they'll pursue that with everything they've got. Last time the score was 43-5 to the Koopas, but I think it will be far closer today.
The stakes are high, we're getting pretty close, but we're gonna win that feather. We won it last year, we're gonna win it this year. Go crushing Koopas!
You're playing for the feather. Last time the Koopas took it. Do you feel confident that you can steal it this time?
Well, we always want to think best of it, but we don't know. We need to just, be in the game.
Yeah?
Yeah, be in the moment.
The match began with a kickoff to tails, and Las Condoritas immediately started tearing through the Koopa defence. Vicky and the Koopas tried to tackle, but it wasn't long until Las Condoritas put in their first try. The kick made the score 7-0. The game restarted, and this time the Koopas were attacking, dodging a super tackle and making their way upfield. Yoshi was tackled on the wing and the ball was taken out for a line-out. The line-out was won by Las Condoritas, but a quick tackle made an opening for the Koopas to take it back, and they ran the ball across the line and they were tackled! The 2 teams skirmished for the ball, but eventually Tere got it free and away from danger. Eggman ran the ball downfield, dodging Koopa tackles, and a pass to Silver secured the 2nd try for Las Condoritas. They basically took the ball from one end of the field all the way to the other. The conversion, however, went sideways. It was 12-0 when the game restarted. The Koopas ran the ball towards the Condorita try line once again, and it looked like another tackle might stop them on the line. This time, however, the Koopas kept on fighting, stole the ball back from Tere, and scored their first try.
No! Seriously, I'm on the freaking line! Just score! Yes! Oh my god!
They kicked the conversion and the score was 12-7. Vicky kicked off to Las Condoritas, who began attacking. A super tackle from Metal Sonic turned the ball over and the Koopas took the ball. But then a tail super tackle stole it right back. Las Condoritas began heading toward the Koopa try line, but they were stopped by the halftime whistle. The halftime score was 12-7 to Las Condoritas. Just one more half stood between them and championship glory. The second half began with the Koopas getting the ball and doing their trademark passing, getting the ball up to Shadow, who made a dash for the line and brought the two teams level. Shadow then kicked the conversion and the Koopas were ahead for the first time this game at 14-12. Las Condoritas, not to be outdone, began pushing their way upfield, but a run from Tails was halted by a point-blank range super tackle. The Koopas tried to run, but a tackle stopped Yoshi. Vicky held onto the ball and had more success this time, getting past Condorita defenders and an attempted Eggman super tackle. The ball went across the field to the right wing, where Yoshi was tackled again, but once again Koopas kept possession and fought onwards. Las Condoritas turned the ball over and began running, but Bowser Jr. super tackled and got the ball back. A pass to Shadow and a quick run put the Koopas even further ahead with try number 3. The kick made the score 21-12. Las Condoritas needed something big if they wanted to win. They led a strong attack, but a Boom Boom super tackle stole the ball, only for a Condorita Boom Boom to do the same thing to them. The Koopas defended their line well and turned the ball over, but Silver super tackled to get the ball for Las Condoritas once again. He slipped through and gave hope to Las Condoritas with their third try. The kick put Las Condoritas back within 2 points of the Crushing Koopas. One more try for either team would be huge. The game began and the Koopas caught the ball. They did one more round of their famous passing, weaving up and down the field to create space. Metal Sonic slid through a gap with a run but was tackled, but not before handing the ball to Yoshi, who had a clear run. Yoshi ran for the line to put the bonus try in for the Crushing Koopas when suddenly, full time! We couldn't believe it either.
I think that's it.
I don't think that counted. I don't think that. No, that try didn't count.
Oh my god!
Oh, that is.
It did not count it.
It did not count it.
Yeah, Tere still gets to lose his bonus point, but Vicky doesn't get the bonus point.
Yeah, because that didn't count.
That would have been your fourth try, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that conversion would have made the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time this tournament that the final whistle has harshly denied a try to a team. But what a close game for both Las Condoritas and Crushing Koopas. Las Condoritas have been denied their fairy tale tournament of going from last to first, but they've still shown an incredible improvement, whilst Crushing Koopas have won their 4th game in a row. We'll have to see whether they've done enough to win the ABK Six Nations, but the Koopas will be happy with pulling off a win and retaining the feather. Final score: Crushing Koopas 21, Las Condoritas 19.
Yeah, we're gutted, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fine. We learned a lot from last year, and I think we improved this year. So let's go for next year.
Hoskins vs Robots.
Super Mario.
Game 2 of the final round sees the Hooting Hoskins against the Rusty Robots. The Robots haven't scored a single point so far. Can the Hoskins keep it this way? Match preview. This game was the opening game for Nick last year, and he handily secured himself a bonus point win in the very first round. Now, at the end of the second tournament, can Nick go even further? He scored 8 tries last time to win 46-7, but he only converted 3. The score to beat is 75-0. Tough result.
Yeah, tough game.
I mean, the Jiggy game is a big game every tournament.
Every year. For the last 30 years, yeah.
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 How do you feel?
Gutting. Very gutting. I think the team worked hard. There was, even though the score itself wasn't that close, I feel like we were close in our styles and our play. But you know, Vicky leads a very good team. I'll take it in our stride.
Yeah.
The better team won.
Your final game of the tournament then is against the Robots. Obviously,
I'm going to whoop them into next year.
is this going to be some catharsis? Is this going to be some therapy for the team?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and
Hell
the
yeah.
tournament will win.
Yeah, please.
This game was the definition of Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby. Hooting Hoskins took no prisoners. They kicked off to the robots, tackled, passed, scored, converted. 7-0. Again, kicked to the robots, tackled, passed, scored. This time they learned from the Kongs to get it as central as possible too. So again, converted. The pattern repeated, with a third try from Captain Mario. The robots rampaged a bit against Nick, but it didn't stop a fourth try coming from Vector, and then a fifth from Daisy, which rounded out the first half. All converted. The halftime score was 35-0. The question is, just how far will the Hooting Hoskins go? The second half repeated much of the first. A sixth try came from Eggman, a seventh from a Boom Boom, an eighth from another Boom Boom, a ninth from Mario, and a 10th from Eggman. All converted. One more converted try and it's a new record. Nick dug deep and remembered some key advice.
Show them who you are!
Try number 11. It was converted and Nick went beyond Tere's record. He pushed for try number 12, but it was stopped by the final whistle. I think it was clear it was never going to be a close game, but not even I expected the record for biggest score to be broken 3 times this tournament. Once by Vicky, again by Tere, and now a third time by Nick. Nick finishes the tournament with 16 match points. He'll come third if Alex loses the final match. Final score, Hooting Hoskins 77, Rusty Robots 0. Any final reflections on the tournament?
I'd like to thank everyone who worked so hard in my team and all the other coaches and all the other teams. It's been a brilliant game. So glad we got to hash this out. And I look forward to what the future brings.
Boos versus Kongs.
Okay.
It's the final game of the tournament with the trophy on the line for Alex. Can David's Boos take down Goliath's Kongs? Match preview. The Boos have struggled today, but they're still a formidable team. They're the only side to score 3 tries against the Goon and Goombas, and they ended their last tournament with an upset when they beat the Hoskins 28-26. The Kongs, on the other hand, just need to win and they've won the whole thing. A draw, even a draw with a bonus for 4 tries, simply wouldn't be enough.
We may be at the bottom here, but I think we need to go out with honour.
Your final game is against Jack and the Brave Boos. Are you feeling confident?
Yeah, I thought, I am actually. But obviously very conscious that he's a bit of a dark horse. I always thought that throughout the game. So yeah, we just have to do our best really.
The game started with the Boos kicking off to the Kongs. The Kongs passed the ball to avoid some tackles and began making their way upfield, until tackles from Bowser and Eggman allowed the Boos to steal possession. The Boos were quickly tackled and the Kongs retook the ball, continuing their way upfield. A pass out wide to Waluigi was enough for the Kongs to take the first score.
Oh, you fool!
The kick was on target and the Kongs were ahead 7-0. The Boos got the ball from the kickoff, but they were quickly tackled by the Kongs, and they rucked to get the ball. DK tried to run but was tackled by Blaze, and the Boos got the ball back. Daisy began her attack, but a super tackle turned the ball back to the Kongs. It was really blow for blow. The Boos defended well against the Kongs, who made a long pass to Waluigi on the wings, but he was halted. The Boos were tackling but the Kongs were keeping possession. There was another attempt by Waluigi, but he put his foot into touch for a line-out. The Boos stole the line-out, but a quick Kong tackle stole the ball, and this time they made quick progress to score their second try. Wario's kick was converted, and the Kongs' lead was extended to 14. The kickoff to the Boos was once again interrupted by a quick Kong tackle. Alex got the ball to DK, and the team captain ran around the outside of the Boos to plant a quick third try for the Kongs. Being right on the edge though meant the kick was just too tough. The game restarted with extra time in the first half. The Boos had a good run with Eggman, but a super tackle stopped him in his tracks. The Kongs began moving to attack, but the whistle blew, ending an eventful first half. Halftime score, 19-0 to the Chaotic Kongs. The The second half didn't start with much hope for the Boos. An attempted run from Bowser was quickly halted by Shadow, and the Kongs stole possession. The Boos did their best to hold off Alex, but he found his crucial fourth try with a boom boom. The conversion made the score 26-0. The game restarted and the Kongs deepened the Boos' woes with a fifth try straight from the kickoff. With another conversion, it was 33-0. The Boos fought hard at the restart but struggled to get any traction. The Kongs were relentless and scored their sixth try with Waluigi, running through the centre of a group of Boos. 40-0. The Boos dug deep and kept fighting, and finally they found their opening. Blaze ran the ball down the left-hand side, and with less than 30 seconds left in the tournament, the Boos scored their first try. It was a difficult conversion, but they managed it. 47. Whilst it may have been too late to change the outcome, the Boos kept battling. They forced the ball for a line-out, which they won, and they managed to push their way through to a second try. This kick was central and easily converted. The game restarted with the beginning of extra time, and Bowser went for a quick super tackle, but he missed. The two teams clashed, but Shadow found his way around the outside of the Boos. He was making his way to the Boo line when the final whistle sounded, bringing the match and the tournament to a close. It was a dominant display from the Chaotic Kongs, almost matching the same number of tries that they scored against the Rusty Robots. The Boos fought valiantly, but a few quick tries at the beginning of the second half put the game far out of their reach. Alex had to win this game, and he's managed it. What a performance to end on. Final score: Brave Boos 14, Chaotic Kongs 40.
Not good. Disappointing. We have dropped down since last year. These things happen. Maybe we made a few mistakes. I think we were focusing too much on tackles and not speed. But we've enjoyed ourselves. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
We've eaten, we've drank, and we've lost.
Play of the round. So with this being the final round, that means this is the final play of the round. The Kongs had a great win, the Hoskins set a new record, but the play of the round goes to the crushing Koopas. Down by 12 and struggling on the try line, they pulled it back to win their fourth game in a row. This super tackle here against Las Condoritas was critical. We've reached the end of our tournament, so it's time for the final results. In 6th place, and the recipient of the wooden spoon, is the Rusty Robots. In 5th place is Jack and the Brave Boos. In 4th, taking home the mushroom, is Nick with the Hooting Hoskins. In 3rd, with the bronze medal, is Tere and Las Condoritas. In 2nd place, with the silver medal, winning the feather again, and for the first time taking home the ABK Jiggy, is Vicky and the Crushing Koopas. In 1st place, winning the family flower, the emerald, and taking home the actual real-life trophy, is Alex and the Chaotic Kongs. What a performance from a first-timer. So, for one last time, let's take a look at the table so you can see the final standings in detail. You know, when doing a second tournament, you hope to see some interesting results, but this was even closer than I imagined. So many upsets and dramatic finishes, and to have a tournament where I think pretty much anyone can beat anyone makes it really fun to watch and see what happens. Like last year, I'll put up some stats from the tournament as I do my final wrapping up. I want to thank Vicky and Nick on Team ABK for helping me run this again. Especially Nick and his partner Sim, who hosted at their house and kept everyone fed through the day. I want to thank Alex, Jack and Tere for taking part, and Ollie for his cameo in the introduction, as he was sorely missed on the day and I know that he really wanted to do it again. Finally, thank you for watching if you've watched all 5 rounds. What was your favourite bit? If you want to see the full games, you can find a playlist on ABK Archive of all the games without commentary. If this is your first ABK Studios video, we are a channel that does a mix of gaming related content. We have Banjo-Kazooie and Zelda parodies. We have a podcast called Big Nostalgia, which is about old video games we grew up with, and it recently released its 4th season. We also have other gaming content on the channel covering series like Mario Party, Mario Maker and Overcooked. And let me know in the comments what you thought of the tournament, which team you supported, who your MVP was and why, and if you would watch us if we did a third tournament in 2027. And with that, all that's left to say is congratulations to Alex and the Chaotic Kongs. Some hard-fought wins and a well-deserved trophy. And I'll end by once again saying to Nintendo and Sega, forget the tennis, forget the golf, make an official Mario and Sonic rugby game. You know it'd be great. There's a World Cup next year, it's perfect timing. I'd buy it. Anyway, see you in the next video. Bye.